Hi there! Today I'm going to read for you a short fragment from my latest book, Hiding the Moon. It's from page 216. So let's start. I'm sorry, brothers, to interrupt your prayers, but the winds brought me today at your doors. I'm Brother Pierre Lacroix from Trois Fontaines Abbey. I need to talk to the abbot, please, the stranger said, slightly pushing Gideon with his shoulder while heading towards the high altar. Oh, yes, the words of the abbot resounded in the hollow silence. 2 months ago I received a letter from your abbot informing me about your visit. You were supposed to arrive earlier. Anyway, we apologize for this strange welcome, but things haven't been, let's say, normal lately. Please join us in our prayers, brother. Again the stranger took a glance at Gideon, and this time Gideon seemed to notice a short grin in the corner of his lips. He signed Gideon calmly to sit down, and he joined him on the bench. He wished so much to give a closer look to the stranger, but his sitting beside him took away Gideon's courage. Gideon could sense the inquisitive gaze of the stranger resting on him. He looked down at his hands, suddenly busy arranging the sleeves of his habit. Don't hide, Brother Pierre whispered and made Gideon move further away on the bench. Don't hide, he said again. Gideon jumped onto his feet and rushed out of the chapel into the whirling wind. Clouds were circling and clustering in awkward shapes. The urge to run infused his whole body, but he was trapped and tired. He had to face what fate had in store for him once and for all. He wished he could see through the stranger. By doing so, many questions would have found their answer. Who was he, a shadow, or the other one, that he did not even dare pronounce his name in his thoughts? Was he after him, the book, or both? He walked at a brisk step through the cloister, turned right, and stopped in front of the well, resting his head on its rim as if the reflecting water would have helped him see the things that were hidden to his understanding. The wind playing through his hair descended into the abyss of the well, moving the water in circles. The distorted lines of his face showed him different images, which were swallowed one by the passing clouds. The wind grew stronger. Gideon clutched the rim of the well, trying to stay put. The cold currents of air pulled him by his hair and habits with a force that made him stagger. Alvarach Gar, he heard the strong voice of the stranger, piercing through the howling wind. Alvarach Gar, he said again, Kinach Biz. Gideon turned, a strange feeling of warmth surrounding his body. His charm was lit, yet not burning. The stranger's eyes acquired the frozen color of the ice under iridescent light. Gideon was pushed to the ground and his habits torn by invisible claws. The chain of his charm tightened around his neck, choking him. Biz alvarach gardeil, kinach enchar biz. A raucous voice so familiar to Gideon pierced the wind. Try and get up, the stranger shouted at him. Get up and fight, for God's sake. Panic-stricken, Gideon jumped onto his feet, took out the charm, and did what he had just learned it worked. Begged it for help while stretching it forward. It's not enough, the stranger yelled at him, springing towards him like a feline on his prey. He grabbed him by his shoulders and shook him. Get rid of fear, fight, tell them to get back. Their power over you is the one you give them. Tell them, Alvarach Gar, get back, the stranger yelled through the howling wind. Gideon pushed the stranger away and closed the hand with the charm into a fist. The anger pushed away the fear and made his whole body shiver. Alvarach Gar, he heard himself screaming with such a force that the whole nature stood still for an instant, frightened at the suit of shrieks that followed his shout. Silence. Only a soft breeze still pushing the clouds was a lost reminder of a forgotten tempest. Don't you ever dare touch me again, Gideon rasped at the stranger. Pierre laughed. Don't try the same trick on me, it won't work. You have no power over me. You, or that charm you're guarding so fiercely, he said, pushing Gideon's shoulder slightly with his hand. You know nothing, and you need me to know. When you decide to stop hiding, search for me, he said, turning his back and leaving Gideon in the middle of the backyard, as a mere leaf in the hands of a whimsical wind. Kinachbiz, the guardian, is ours, the stranger said again.
That was all. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.